Hi everyone, Telios here. This is going to be my attempt at the Phase 2 South Geonosian combat mission. So I linked all my mods in a previous video, but for this particular video there's going to be one change. I put Poggle the Lesser into a tier 6 health set that I borrowed from Kanan. So this is a high health set with health primaries and speed subs. So this increased his base health. It about doubled his base health actually. But I took about a 15k hit on protection from his normal set. And I actually increased his speed by about 20. So this should almost double his survivability, which is going to be a really big deal for this particular special mission because everything in this special mission does a ton of damage. So having him be able to survive every little bit of health makes a really big difference. So again, I linked all my mods in a previous video, so that's the only change. And this is my G13. Everybody's in tier 6 except for Sunfac, who has basically a premium all gold tier 5 set. He's in my previous attempts of this, he's always been the last one to die anyways, so higher set of mods for him isn't really, if we're being really honest, is not going to make a difference. So first things first, in the opening of the fight, we want to look at the Jedis here. So the Consular is useless. The Sentinel doesn't do near as much damage as you might think. The Vanguard is annoying if he attacks the team, but if we counter on the Vanguard, it's going to clear his taunt, and he won't be able to counter us. We'll never be focused on him. And then we have Kit Fisto. Kit Fisto is a problem, a huge problem, and has been. In the previous version of this that I did, he did an AoE against my team, either right before or right after the Acklay, and he did like 80,000 damage to everyone and like flat out killed my team outright. So in this, one of the things that we're going to do is focus on controlling Kit Fisto through either ability block or killing him outright. Taking his AoE off the board is probably better for us than anything else. So step number one, you have to take the enrage off of the Acklay. If he's enraged, you're going to have a really bad time. Hey, look, remember that AoE that I was talking about where Kit Fisto does a ton of damage? Yeah, he just did that. So really, really bad there. Yeah, that's not exactly how I wanted this fight to start out. But we're not in trouble or anything yet. So with Geo Soldier, I'm almost always going to call Geo Spy in because Spy does just a ton of damage. So we're taking damage from the Acklay. We're not really in trouble at the moment. We know that Kit Fisto's AoE is on cooldown. So basically, we're just going to attack Acklay. We're just going to attack him. What we want to do here is make sure that we are topping off as often as we can. So we are going to use conscription here because we want the protection regeneration, which is a really big deal for this whole fight, if we're being quite honest. So getting dazed on a target is pretty bad. Because if a target is dazed, then when Acklay uses his AoE, it's going to do percent-based damage. It's on Brute, but you have to remember all your geos are connected. So you really want to make sure that you're cleansing if you can. So this is a tough one. I think right here I'm going to use Spiteful Strike. I think I'm going to use Subjugate. Because by the time this wears off of Sunfac, I think I'm going to be in a position where all of his buffs are going to be on everyone, which will include the health up. Yeah, I think that will include the health up and all the other buffs that he gets from using this. Yeah, health up, defense up, etc., etc. So what we're hoping for is Acklay is going to attack at some point, and then when it gets back around to Sunfac, we want to try to blind Acklay on the time he's going to use his AoE. So if we can do that, we're going to be in a really good shape. That's probably going to be very difficult to do, but you can see that we're doing a really good amount of damage to Acklay here. So Like he's almost at half health. But this fight can turn really, really quickly. So, keeping debuffs down on him and making sure that we're pumping out the damage is really important. He's probably going to enrage. Um, I think we're going to go ahead and use that because it exposes him. Um, our choice here is basically attack Acklay. We really don't have too much choice. He killed a bunch of Jedis, which is not really a big deal. We are going to stagger and blind him here, and then keep putting out the damage. There's only one Jedi left, which means Acklay is going to have a really huge increase in his damage. Okay, so my timing on that was pretty bad because he's going to have his AoE next. We really need a cleanse. Really, really, really need this cleanse. So I'm about to take a lot of damage because he's enraged. And this is probably the best that I can ask for in terms of Jedi here. So the Acolyte's enraged again, which is definitely a problem. So I'm actually going to attack anything else. I'm going to attack anything else besides Acklay at the moment. Because what we want to do is we want to attempt to get Geo Alpha to go and cleanse that enrage before anything happens. Yeah. So yeah, we start losing people here, or at least losing one here. But we did get a heal in, which is something that I didn't get in last time. So them attacking Brute is kind of a non-factor, honestly. And then me getting offense up is good because that's going to allow me to continue to pump out damage. And if I get enough damage in here, I'm going to turn off his enrage and see if let's see if I can get the final bit of damage. Turning off his enrage slows him. Holy crap, we win. So we did lose a character in that, but at the end there, turning off his enrage means that he loses defense, he loses speed. Yeah, this fight is really, really hard. So yeah, controlling AoEs from the Jedi, timing Sunfac's special is really important because if I had put Blind and Daze on when the Acklay went to use his AoE, I would have missed out on like 100k damage that he did, flat out killing one of my characters there, So it's really, really important that you time this stuff right. At G13 tier 6 mods, make sure that you have a ton of health and protection on like Poggle the Lesser, for instance, and you need some of that also on Geospy and Geosoldier. Otherwise, they just get one shot. So I think in this, you can probably have one to potentially two of the Jedi down and probably still be okay with the damage that Acolyte puts out. But if you kill all the Jedis, you're probably going to be in trouble because he ends up with like 100% offense. And I think that's enough to outright kill your Brute. So that is the first time I've completed this special mission. Hope the commentary helps.